Hi, hello and welcome back to Formula 1 Randomized, the series where I race random Formula 1 cars from random Formula 1 seasons on random racetracks, be they Formula 1 or otherwise, with a few fictional circuits thrown in there for good measure. Now last week we raced on the fantastic Donington Park circuit, and it didn't go too well since I was left without brake pads about halfway through the race, which isn't good, but hey, what can you do, right? Anyway, this week's suggestion comes from a user by the name of Scandinavian, and quite appropriately, he suggested I race the 1978 Lotus around Knutstorp. I hope I pronounced that correctly, which is a track in Sweden. I don't know anything about this track, not even what it is used for, but my best guess would be that it is and or was used in STCC. But that might not be it. I really have no clue. Regardless, let's jump into this. So here we are at Knutstorp, and let's see how this thing goes. I have the intermediate tires. Apparently it is wet. We're starting from the very back of the pack. There was no qualifying as usual. So let's see how things go. And immediately someone returned and we're going very slowly. Although we are now on the straightaway, so hopefully we can speed up from here on and have a good race. I'm not, I don't really want points, but trying to finish somewhere high up would be nice. And there are a bunch of retirements, and we are completely slowed down at this point. Yellow flags. We are crawling at about 25 kilometers per hour, which is kind of interesting. Now we are speeding back up, so the yellow flag is lifted and we can once again step on it. Although we cannot drive too fast through on this circuit, I don't think there's any moment during this race where I managed to actually reach top speed. This is kind of as fast as you'll see anyone go today, unfortunately. But thankfully the track isn't all that long, so it doesn't really matter as we come up on this hill through this left-hander leading into a right-hander, and everyone is very slow. Now I'm starting to lose my patience behind everyone because, well, as you can see, everyone's very slow. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe the AI doesn't like the circuit. Probably, who knows. Although I could imagine the fact that, well, this circuit is not really meant for Formula 1 cars. Again, I'm not sure, but I think this is used for STCC, which, well, those cars are quite slow compared to Formula 1 cars, but oh well. And there's a car trying to cut the track there and manages to do just that, so that's kind of nice as we come around to finish lap 1 and start lap 2. We are in 25th, 24th right now, and we take a look at this ATS. Maybe we can overtake it. On the inside there was a car on the right side of the track, not quite sure who it was, but doesn't really matter, I don't think. As we gain a few positions, now we are in 21st, and I'm losing my patience, so I'm trying to get through as many cars as possible, but then again I'm trying to not be do too much all in one go, because, well, apparently the brakes on this car don't really work. I'm not sure if that's a mod thing or if it's a real life thing, but you really need to brake very early with these cars in order to slow down the car. So I don't really want to risk it, and unfortunately, because this game is so old, it doesn't actually support the ground effect the ground effects that these cars produced. And in fact, I think the first sim that supported ground effects was R Factor, which came about three years after this game. So and even that doesn't support proper ground effects. It's more like you get more downforce overall. It's not proper ground effects, so yeah. But in this game you don't get any ground effects at all, so you only get the kind of downforce you would get from these wings alone, which isn't all that much, to be honest. Well, it was a lot for late 70s, but not much by today's standards. And Carlos Reutemann managed to win the race while we were still halfway on lap 3 here. Yeah, this was kind of a boring race, but it mostly thanks to the fact that everyone's so damn slow. I'm not quite sure why. And here I am towards the end of the lap trying to gain as many positions as possible. Get around the beautiful Renault there. I really like the 78 Renault. It looks really nice. I really like the wing design. That was one, I think, one of the most interesting most attractive parts to me. I don't know why, but that is that. And that was the 1978 cars on the Knutstorp circuit. Not much I can say about any of this. I mean, yeah, it was really slow. Everything was very slow paced, so could have been better, could have been worse as well. But anyway, here we are at the results page, so let's take a look. Carlos Reutemann wins, Didier Pironi second, Gilles Villeneuve third, fourth Mario Andretti, and I scroll down so I can't catch the rest of them. Fifth Patrick Depailler, Niki Lauda sixth. We finished in 13th somehow, and yeah, that was the 1978 cars around the Knutstorp circuit. I would want to say it was fun, but it really wasn't all that much fun. I expected more, really, but what can you do when cars are driving so slow? You can't really do too much yourself. So yeah. Anyway, thank you to Scandinavian for this suggestion. It was quite interesting, to put it mildly, I guess. I really don't know if I should praise this combination or not, because again, everything moved at such a slow pace. I don't know. I think that would have been, we were moving even slower than touring cars would have. So yeah, that's not quite what you want in a Formula 1 car. But regardless, once again, thank you to Scandinavian for the suggestion. And don't forget to continue sending in your suggestions. As I always say, the more the merrier. So keep them coming and let's have even more fun. So yeah, that is it for this week's Formula 1 Randomized. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. See you all in the next week's Formula 1 Randomized. Take care and stay sharp.